Email verification in Supabase is great, but email verification with a one-time PIN token in Supabase is even better. You are no longer limited to redirecting the user to a specific site, and it will work 100% of the time regardless of whether your user is on mobile or on the web. A huge thanks to my good friend Camilo, who was the inspiration behind this video. He's actually working on an app to promote education in Colombia and instill the love of learning in the country. I think that's an amazingly honorable mission, so be sure to check him out. Alright, so moving over to our FlutterFlow dashboard, over here I have the base project, which consists of the home page, which is this home page over here, and there's a logout button with the logout action already defined over here. And then there's also a login page, a simple sign-in page, which already has the sign-in action as well. And it also consists of a register page, as well as a verify email page over here, where the user will be able to input the token or the one-time PIN that is sent to their email and confirm the one-time PIN. And it's also able to press this button to resend the email once more if they didn't receive the email. So this base project can be cloned down in the YouTube description. You just click on the link and you can clone the project from there. And the first thing that you have to do when you have cloned the project is that you'll have to link your Supabase project to your FlutterFlow project. So to do that is simple. You can go to settings and integrations and you can scroll all the way down to Supabase, and I already have my API URL as well as my anon key linked up here, but for you, you would have to paste in your own API URL as well as your own anon key. You can find that by going to your Supabase project, and you can go to project settings, and under configuration you just go to API, and your project URL will be this one. So you copy this and paste it over here in the API URL, and your anon key will be this one over here, the anon public key. So once you're done, you just get schema, and now your Supabase project should be linked with your FlutterFlow project as well. And the next step that we have to do is that we have to add some custom actions so that we can tell Supabase to sign up your users and also send a verification email to them whenever they create a new account. So to add some custom code, we can go over to this option over here and we press on this add button and we add a new action. But don't worry, you won't need to come up with the custom code yourself because I've already put a link to my GitHub over here where you can copy and paste these custom actions. So if you click on the link, you should be brought to my GitHub page over here, and we want to implement these two custom actions, the sign up with email.dot file as well as the verify email with token.dot file. So first I'll implement the sign up with email one first. So all you have to do is you can just click on the file and copy and paste the whole file into this action over here. And you also want to change the action name up here to sign up with email. Make sure that this action name is exactly the same as this name over here. Once you've done that, you can just click on save action and it should save this action without any errors. Next, we add another action and we choose the verify email with token.dot file. So we do the same thing, copy and paste the whole thing right into our FlutterFlow dashboard over here. And for the action name, we'd also have to rename it to verify email with token. So we can click on save, there should be no errors, and we have successfully implemented our custom code, all the custom code that we need. However, if you'd like to learn more about the custom code, I'll also briefly go through it. This custom action basically tells Supabase to create a new user using their email, password, as well as the confirm password arguments over here. So we have to pass these three arguments. And the first thing we do in this custom action is that we first check if the password is equal to the confirm password. So this just checks if the user entered both passwords correctly. Next, we have to instantiate a Supabase client over here so that we have access to Supabase's authentication functions. And next, these lines of code over here basically tell Supabase to sign up and create a new user with using the email as well as the password. And if the user has been successfully created without any errors, it will return null. But if there are any errors over here, it will catch these errors and it will return the error message along with this. And if the user's passwords don't match, it will just return passwords do not match. So that's the brief rundown for the sign up with email function. Next, let's talk about the verify email with token custom action. So this custom action is a bit more complicated and there are a few more lines of code over here, but don't worry, I'll get through it step by step. So first, this custom action takes in two arguments, which are this email of the user as well as the token that the user enters, the one-time PIN that the user enters. And once more, we have to instantiate the Supabase client so that we have access to Supabase's functions. So next, what this does over here is that we are calling the Supabase verify OTP function. And this verify OTP function actually takes in three arguments. Firstly is the type, which is the type of event that it is currently calling. So in our case, since we created a new user and the user is trying to verify his new account, the type will be of type OTP type.signup. Next is the token over here, and the token over here is basically what the user enters as the OTP. And this over here is just basically means that if this token field is null, then it will just return this over here. And finally, it also takes in the email of the user, which we have passed as an argument in the function over here. So next, what this does over here is that it simply returns true if the user session is not null. So that means the user has signed in. And our function also will catch any errors and print the errors to our console so that we can use it for debugging purposes as well. Alright, so that's basically it for the verify email with token function. So first, let's work on our register page. So whenever the user creates a new account and clicks on this button over here, we want to open the action flow editor, and now we want to add a new action, and we want to add our newly implemented custom action. And it will be the sign up with email custom action over here. Now we have to pass some of these arguments. So for the email, it will be under widget state, and it will be this email one over here. Next, for password, it will be under widget state as well, and it will be this password text view. And lastly, for the confirm password, it will be also under widget state, and it will be this confirm password text view. Now, if you can recall, this custom action actually returns a variable of error if any. So we can just name this action output variable as error. Next, what we can do is we can add a conditional action, and we'll add a single condition. And this condition will be to check whether we received any errors or not. So for this, we'll choose our action output, our error action output from this previous sign up with email custom action. And instead of equal to, we'll select is not set or is empty. So if we did not receive any errors from our previous action, that means the user has been successfully created. So on the left hand side over here, we want to add a new action, which is to navigate to our verify page. And on the right hand branch over here, if an error was returned, we want to inform the user. So we want to add an action, and we can search for informational dialog. And we can give the dialog a title, such as sign up error. And for this message over here, we can pass our error message that we got from our sign up with email custom action. So to do that, we can just go to action outputs once more, and we can select the error action output. And that's it for our register page. And now we can move on to our verify page. So inside this verify page, the user is able to enter the token that they received in their email inside this pin code. And whenever the user clicks on this confirm OTP button, you want to check if the token that the user has entered inside this pin code matches with the token that was sent to his or her email. So in this confirm OTP button, we can add an action. And we can add our custom action of verify email with token. And inside this custom action, we actually have to pass the email of the user as well as the token that the user has typed in. Now for the token, it's quite simple, since we can just go to widget state and it'll be the pin code input that the user has input. But for the email, we do not have access to the email of the user on this page. So what we have to do is we have to pass it as a page parameter into this page. So going to our widget tree over here, we have to go to our verify page on the top level. And on the top right hand corner over here, we have to define some page parameters. So for this, we have to define the email of the user. It'll be of type string and it'll be required. So we can click on confirm, and now we go back to our register page, go back to our create account button, and now when we go into our navigate to action, you can see that we can now pass some parameters. So you want to pass the email parameter, and the value will be our widget state, and it'll be the email text field over here. So now going back into our verify page, and when we go to the action flow editor of our confirm OTP button, you can see that we now are able to pass the email of the user through our page parameter. If you can recall once more, this verify email with token custom action returns a boolean variable of either true or false. And it returns true if the user has successfully inputted the right token, and false if the user has not. So for this action output variable name, we can just put it as is verified. And once more, we want to add a conditional action. And for this condition, we want to add a single condition. And we want to check if our action output of is verified is equal to true. So if the user has been successfully verified, then we want the user to be able to navigate to our home page over here. If not, we can just show another informational dialog. And for this, we can just tell the user, wrong token, please try again. And after alerting the user, we can go one step further by clearing all the fields inside the pin code so that the user does not have to go back and delete all of the numbers that were already typed in. So we can add an action over here, and over here we can search for clear, and we want to choose this clear text fields / pin codes action, and you want to check this pin code widget. Alright, that looks good, so we can just close out of the action flow editor. And one last thing that we have to implement is this resend email button. So the user is able to click on this resend email button to send another email containing a different token if the user wishes to. So we can click on this resend email button and we can open the action flow editor. And we want to add a new action, and this is actually very simple to do. We can just call our custom action of sign up with email once again. For the email, we want to pass in our page parameters email over here. And as you can see, we also actually need the password as well as the confirm password values that were on the previous register page. So what we can do is that we can do what we did for the email as well. We can go to the verify page level over here, and we can define two more page parameters. The first one will be the password parameter, which will be of type string. And the next one will be the confirm password parameter, which would also be of type string. So we can click on confirm, and now we do the same thing. We go back to our register page, our create account button, and inside our navigate to action, we pass our password as well as our confirm password. So it would be under widget state, and we select password, and for the confirm password, it will be under widget state as well, as we can pass this confirm password text field value. Now we go back into our verify page, and we go to our resend email, and now we can pass these values from our page parameter over here. Alright, so that's very nice, and we have actually completed our implementation for our verify page as well. So the last thing that we have to do is we have to configure our Supabase project. So going into our Supabase project, we want to go to this left-hand side menu over here, and we want to go into authentication. We want to go into providers, and you can check your email provider to check that this confirm email toggle is on. Next, we want to go into our email templates, and we want to go into the confirm sign up email template. And over here, this is where you can customize your email that you want to send to your users. So things you can customize are your subject headings, the subject of the email. You can also customize these over here. So right now, the email will look like this. So we can customize this title over here, such as verify your email now. And instead of click this link to confirm your account, we are giving a token to the user. So we'll just change this to enter this token inside your app to verify your account. And for this last line over here, you want to remove this whole thing over here. And instead, you want to type token. And you want to copy this bracket dot token over here. We can try to save this, and then we can preview our email, and this will be replaced with whatever token that Supabase generates for us. So that's it. That's all we have to do, and we can go back into our FlutterFlow project, and now we can test our project out. So if you have had watched my previous video on email verification as well, you'd also know that Supabase actually has a rate limit on the number of emails that you can send per hour. And this is only 3 emails per hour as of 21st October 2023. So what you can actually do is you can implement a custom SMTP within Supabase, which allows you to send many more emails per hour, and you can also use your own custom domain to send your emails from. The custom SMTP that I like to use is called Resend, and if you'd like to learn how to integrate Resend with Supabase, you can click on the link on the top right hand corner over here, which will bring you to that video. Alright, so Testman has just loaded up. Let's try creating a new account. And for the email over here, make sure you type in an actual email that you have access to. For the passwords, let's just give it a very simple password. And we can create a new account. You can see that when we created a new account, we are brought to this verify email page. We can also check in our Supabase project under authentication that in our users table, we have created a new user which is waiting for verification. And you can see that indeed a new email has been sent by Supabase over here, which consists of the token that we need to enter. So the token over here is 799836. Let's see what happens if we enter a wrong token. So if we enter an invalid token, the app would prompt us that is the wrong token. Let's say I want to send the email once more. So I can click on resend email. And another email has been successfully sent with a new token over here. So now let's try to enter our correct token. And when we press on confirm OTP, you can see that we are successfully brought to the home page. And if we try to check our users table once more, you can see that we are no longer awaiting verification, but we have successfully verified our email address. If you haven't watched my previous email verification video, that video tells you how to implement, instead of a token, a confirmation link where the user is able to click on the link and it will automatically direct the user to either your mobile app or your web app. So if you're interested, please check it out over here. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.